Hey Glam Fam, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kate Glamour. Thanks for tuning in and thank you for watching. Okay, so children, minors, young adults are unfortunately not being taught and raised to be respectful. Young adults nowadays are very disrespectful. I find young adults, minors, children basically, nowadays to be very disrespectful. Like next level disrespectful. Like just no kind of courtesy, no kind of structure. They're not being raised to be respectful, and I want to blame them. I want to point the finger at them. I really do, but I don't think I can. Someone's teaching them incorrectly. And listen, I'm not the type of person who will, teach people how to raise their kids or anything like that. I'm not interested in that. But I just feel like they're not being taught correctly. They kind of have most young adults, most kids have little to no respect when it comes to their elders. They just don't. They don't think that they should respect us first, which they should. They absolutely should. Listen, I'm old school in some ways. I'm traditional in some ways. And I just agree with children being disorderly and just anything goes. I don't believe in that. Children should not have the same dialogue they do with adults as they do their peers and their classmates and their friends. It should be tailored. You're supposed to tailor, or I like to call it, censor yourself when you are talking to an adult. They're not supposed to have the same dialogue. You're not supposed to use profanity when you're in the presence of an elderly person. That's just not the way. That's not respectful. They're the ones who are going to be taking care of us. Why would we want someone who doesn't know how to respect us to take care of us? How do you think that's going to work out? They don't respect us, right? But they're supposed to take care of us. Conversation you have with your grandmother or, your great aunt or someone older than you in your family or whoever, I don't think it should necessarily be the same conversation you would have with your buddy or your friend or your best friend or like your peers and your pals. That should not be the same. No. I just have certain values that I think children should stick to. And I get it. We're living in a different time. Children are being exposed to so much more. There's so much information out there, right? There's so much to learn. There's so much to know. And you have so many different influences raising or helping to raise your kids, right? But that's where you should come in, and you should be the strongest influence on your kids than anyone else. Listen, sometimes kids curse right in front of adults. They use profanity. They're disrespectful. They use vulgar language in front of their elders. Like, they don't care. They have no regard, no filter. And I feel like certain conversations, honestly, should be left to you and your peers and you and people of your age group. You don't curse. You don't teach I'm not going to tell you what to do. They are your kids. But I don't think you should, just like whatever, anything goes. I don't believe in that. Does that mean let someone older than you disrespect you and treat you in a bad way? Absolutely not. We know that, right? We know that's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to someone older than you, your elder, you are to show them the highest gratitude first. You don't meet an elderly person and think in your head, oh, this person better respect me and then I'll respect them. It's like, no, if they're older, you're supposed to respect them first. Period. That's it. Look at who they are modeling themselves after. There's not going to be much respect left if they see you as their parent acting a certain way. So, but it's not the kid's fault because they're not, well, some of them are not raising themselves. You're raising them. But, and look at what they have to look up to. A person who is doing some of the things that you are doing. Maybe that's a part of the problem. And I'm not here to tell anyone how to live their life. Obviously, if you're a grown person, fine, whatever. Do whatever you want to do. But it's like when it comes to your children, teach your children to be respectful. That's it. That's the way you should conduct your behavior, is to simply show your elders respect first. They are due the respect first. Our elders, they're much wiser than us. They were here before us. They paved the way for us. They deserve that right off the bat. They deserve it. And when that respect is not given, it's just like, who is raising, this generation out here? Because that's not the way you do it. You cannot treat an elderly person any kind of way. And that starts with something as simple as, opening the door for them, or, just making sure that they're okay if you see them in passing. Little stuff like that. That's okay to do. You know that, right? Stuff like that is okay. That's kind of the stuff you should be doing. Just simply lending a helping hand, because at the end of the day, that's someone's grandmother. And you will want someone to be decent, and you will want someone to act accordingly to your grandmother or to your, mom or whoever. So I'm not necessarily going to, be hard on the kids, because maybe they just don't know that you're supposed to be respectful, and you're supposed to automatically lend that olive branch to your elder right away. It's a given, or it should be a given. I get that people raise their kids to be a free spirit and to be outgoing. All that is fine. That's great. They're teaching their kids to speak their mind. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you speak your mind, you're supposed to speak your mind and do those things to your peers, to people your own age, not an adult, not to sass an adult that you, first of all, don't even know. Secondly, just in general, you save that for your classmates, for people who you are in school with. You don't go around just talking to an adult any kind of way, or your elder any kind of way. I don't believe in that. I think it's crazy. Okay? So just be mindful of what you're teaching your kids, if you're teaching them at all, how to conduct themselves in life. Because the way they conduct themselves now, growing up as little or young adults, is the way they're going to, what kind of person do you think they're going to turn into as they get older, if they're not even being respectful now? If they can't even show a basic level of respect for someone older than them now, what kind of person do you think your child is going to be when they get older, when they have no respect? The elderly person always has the right of way. So we really have to think about these kind of things. Like, what kind of quality of life do we expect to have if we're not even teaching these children how to be respectful? Where do we think that this is going to go, right? Okay. So let's all be mindful to teach these children how to conduct themselves when they are in our presence, okay? So until next time, bye, divas.